Hey guys, it's Elise from Mark Brand Boutique, and today I'm going to be sharing a look at understanding hosted ProPhoto as an illustrated guide for those who are feeling completely lost. We've seen a lot of misinformation out there, so we thought it would be helpful to provide our users and our customers some information about what ProPhoto is moving towards, what hosted ProPhoto is, and should they make the switch. We just want to put out this disclaimer here. We're not being paid by ProPhoto to promote any of this message. This isn't a you must switch to hosted ProPhoto now discussion. This is just information to help you understand what's going on with your website now, what is ProPhoto moving towards, and then hopefully that's enough information that you can decide on your own if this is the right move for you. Okay, so let's start with the basics. And let's start with what is web hosting? Well, you can think of your web hosting as kind of the environment or city you live in. And this is where all of your website files live inside the internet. So your web hosting is provided by a company called a host. This is what ProPhoto is moving towards. But other hosting companies out there are Bluehost, GoDaddy, SiteGround. There are a ton of them out there. But you all currently have a host right now where they're hosting your files. And the important thing to remember is that each hosting environment is not the same. So even though they're both hosts, just like there are tons of cities out there, not all of the cities are the same. You have different quality of speed, different quality of actual file structuring, security, tons of some pretty complicated stuff, but the important thing to know is that they are not all the same. Next, we have your domain name. And your domain name, you can think of this as your physical address. This is how and where people find you on the internet. Your domain name is going to be provided by a domain name registrar. And sometimes the hosts are also domain registers. An example of this would be like GoDaddy. The domains all have records called DNS settings, and these settings point where the domain name should look for those hosted files. So it's looking where your address should direct its environment. It's linking the two. Next, we have hosted email. And this is, you could think of this as your mailbox. This is that custom email address that has your domain name in after the @ sign. And you must own the domain name in order to use that domain name in the email. And sometimes this is provided by the hosting companies, not always. You don't have to have a website attached to your hosted email. You can simply just have hosted email. And popular options are Google Workspace and Office 360. There are a ton of online email service providers out there, but Google and Office 360 are the most commonly used. Next, we have your foundation, and this is actually WordPress. This is WordPress is the most popular content management system out there. It is free, it is open source, and it's got a set of core features. So these are things that allow you to upload images, create pages, add posts, and tag them with tags and categories. This is what would be considered a WordPress core. Next, we have the framework, and this would be the WordPress theme. So every WordPress site requires a WordPress theme, and the themes usually improve upon WordPress core. So they're going to take WordPress core and they're going to build up from there, and they're going to make it great, offer you additional features, and give you things that WordPress on its own doesn't offer. Examples of this would be ProPhoto, Divi. These all require WordPress to work, and the themes themselves can have a variety of options and features. ProPhoto specifically is great for photographers because they focus all of their features with imagery in mind. So each theme will have a specialized set of settings and skills. Next, you have the design template, and obviously this is created onto the WordPress theme. So these are pre-made designs loaded onto the WordPress theme itself. So for example, Mark Brand Boutique, we sell ProPhoto designs. So we are selling a pre-made set of design styles, layouts, and fonts and headings and colors, and we're creating all of this, packaging up and uploading it to the WordPress theme. And because of this, you need the WordPress theme that accompanies that design. So if we sell a ProPhoto design, you need ProPhoto WordPress theme to work correctly. Okay, next we have an SSL and firewalls. This is the fencing around your website, and this is the added protection layer that keeps your site from hacks and malicious attacks. These aren't required, but these are definitely recommended, and often they're provided by hosts, or you might get this by uploading a plugin. There's a few different options to get a security feature for your website. Okay, so now that we understand how your website is built, what is hosted ProPhoto and what does it include? So instead of offering just the traditional WordPress theme, which ProPhoto used to just offer the WordPress theme itself, now they're extending it to offer the hosting environment, the WordPress installation, the ProPhoto theme, and all future updates. So you're not going to pay every time there's a new ProPhoto version. It's going to be in that monthly price. They're going to give you your SSL certificates, integrated security, and all your backups so that everything is secure and that you have backups of all of your website files. So what isn't included in hosted ProPhoto? So when you choose to go to the hosted ProPhoto option, there's only two things that you will have to source outside, and that's your domain name and your hosted email. The hosted email is completely optional, but likely if you already have your website, you probably already have these two things, and you can just keep them wherever you've purchased these two items, you can keep it there. ProPhoto is going to work with you to transfer all of your files and make sure that those items are linking properly. If you are looking for a new option, or you kind of want to see what else is out there, Google and Namecheap are two really great options who will not only register your domain, but will offer you a hosted email option all in one kind of bundle there. So that's a great option if you're looking for a new domain and hosted email provider. What is the value in hosted ProPhoto? Okay, so why move towards this type of style? Well, you're going to get real high quality hosting. It is going to be blazing fast, way faster than probably what you have right now. No stress hosting. So if you've ever had to be asked to go to your cPanel and you logged in and you got so overwhelmed you did not know what you're looking at, you won't ever have to do that. ProPhoto is going to be handling all of that back end stuff for you, so it'll be completely stress-free hosting. A single source of support. So instead of sourcing out all these different companies to get support on your website, now you just have to go to one place for all of your questions and all your support needs. ProPhoto is going to manage all of your hosting questions, your ProPhoto questions. Everything is going to be in one central source. Obviously, you're getting the reliable platform. You're getting the great ProPhoto that you probably already know and love. And you're going to get all future ProPhoto updates for the actual software and WordPress theme itself. Okay, so we've seen a lot of questions come up, some common misconceptions. So let's cover some. Wait, is that really true? And these are going to be the common questions that we've seen out there answered. So first one, switching to Showit is an alternative to a hosted theme. False. So Showit is actually also a hosted theme. So just like ProPhoto is moving towards a hosted theme, Showit is already a hosted theme. The only difference with Showit is that you do have to pay extra for the WordPress blogging feature. So their standard package only includes just the website itself. ProPhoto will include both. There's no hidden fees on that one. Hosted ProPhoto is more expensive. This is also false. Hosting providers often advertise a really low a really low entry rate. For example, $6.99 a month hosting, but they're going to drastically increase the prices for add-on services and renewals to recoup their costs. So you might be paying hundreds of dollars in extra fees and you don't even realize it. They're just going to be tacking these on. And then when you go to the renewal, they don't even tell you that the price increased. They just jump it up to the normal price. So if you think you're paying less, you might want to take a look at what you're actually paying right now. ProPhoto is going to be upfront with their pricing. You're going to get what you pay for. You're going to get the high quality hosting. And there's going to be no hidden fees with extra little services attached to it. You're just going to get what you pay for straight up. I have to switch my site right now. This is also false. So you do not need to touch your website at all. You have at least 1 year, possibly 2, 3, 4 years before you even have to decide what is the right fit for you. ProPhoto is simply halting their support on older ProPhoto versions. So if you're working on an older ProPhoto version, 5, 6, then you may need to make a decision a little bit sooner. But still, you have time. You don't need to make a rash decision right now. You can wait and see what's the right fit for you. So is hosted ProPhoto right for me? Well, the answer really depends on you personally and your specific situation. One way to kind of determine if it's the right fit is to ask a few questions. And one being, how often are you logging into your cPanel? Are you someone like a developer who's going in the back end and making a lot of technical changes and advanced settings in a cPanel? If you don't even know what a cPanel is, then the answer is no, you do not need to be logging into your cPanel. And to be honest, most people get overwhelmed when they're looking at this. And it's a pretty high level technical thing to be accessing your cPanel. So the most common user is not going to be needing this. And if you do need access to your cPanel, go ahead and just reach out to ProPhoto. Ask them what that type of access might look like for you, and if they'll be able to accommodate things you want to achieve with your cPanel. Would you rather have a faster site or keep costs low as possible? So there's definitely, just like any product you're looking at in a market, you can go the cheapest route or you can go with the quality route. That's on a sliding scale, right? So the benefit of going with ProPhoto is you're going to get a higher quality hosting that's faster. I've already helped a few people jump over to the hosted ProPhoto and their site speeds have improved significantly. A specific customer, I couldn't even access her backend, when she's creating a blog post. It was slow just because of the hosting environment that she was in. So it depends. Do you value that? And if you do, you might see value in hosted ProPhoto. What kind of support would you like? Are you the type of person that wants to figure everything out by yourself? You want to Google until you find the answers? Or do you want to go to someone, ask the question and have them guide you through it, get the high quality of support that ProPhoto is known for? And that's a personal decision. So not everyone wants the same things, but if you do go with the hosted ProPhoto option, you're going to get a high level of support from the guys at ProPhoto. Are you interested in boosting your SEO scores? So everyone's always talking about, how do I boost my SEO? How do I increase my page speed? And moving to hosted ProPhoto is going to help you achieve both of those things. I'm not saying that hosted ProPhoto is going to make you jump to the first result on a Google search. That's not what I'm saying here. But what I'm saying is that the environment ProPhoto is offering is going to help you achieve your SEO and your page speed goals. Whereas, currently right now, some of the websites, if you're on a really slow, cheap host, if it takes Google to a really long time to crawl your site, of course, they're always going to prefer the faster website from your competitors. So it's something to think about. Hosting environments do play a big role when you are talking about SEO and page speed. Okay, so you've decided if ProPhoto is right for you. Now you need to know, should you make the switch right now? Well, let's go through a few questions. How much longer do you have with your current hosting provider? And if you do have a long time remaining with them, do they offer refunds for unused services? So the few clients that we've helped switch over, their hosting provider provided a refund for the unused hosting that they had. Not all will do this. GoDaddy is one that is pretty stingy. They will not usually refund anything. So you can always try. There's no hurt in trying, but just be aware that not all hosts will offer a refund. And remember, if you have if you have 6 months remaining on a hosting plan and your hosting provider isn't going to offer a refund, you have time. You do not have to switch this moment. You can wait until your hosting runs out and then move over to ProPhoto if that's what you want to do. You've got time. There's no need to make a decision this exact moment. Okay, another decision would be, what's your budget? If hosted ProPhoto is in your budget, then great. If you need to keep costs really, really low, maybe it's not. Maybe right now isn't the right time for you. You ultimately will have to look and make that decision if that's worth the investment for you. How many sites are you managing? So we've had a handful of clients with different sites, and they all have different hosting plans attached. So it gets a little bit complicated. And just simply log into your hosting provider, take a look at what you currently have, take an inventory. When are those sites? When is those hosting plans expiring? You can transfer one site at a time. You don't have to do them all. I did have a client who transferred 2 sites just recently, and it went seamless. So you can transfer multiple sites at once. And the great thing is ProPhoto is going to be doing this all for you. So it's not like you have to go in and transfer all these files. The guys and the team at ProPhoto are migrating your site for you. So it's easy peasy. You can sit back, relax, and let them do the hard work for you. Okay, so another question, is the time now to switch? Well, is your site slower than molasses? We have seen a few client websites that are so painstakingly slow. And if this is you, you might consider switching sooner than later. We just attended an SEO seminar for SEO for 2021, and the key here is going to be page speed is going to have a lot to do with it. As more competition is coming out there, Google is preferring the faster sites. So if your site is really, really, really slow, it might be more worth it now to switch as soon as possible than waiting down the road. But again, that's a personal decision. You have to decide, what are your goals for your business and your website, and does switching right now make sense for you? And the last one, are you trying to boost your page speed scores and SEO? That ties into the last question. If these are your goals and you want to achieve them now, then maybe switching now is better than waiting till later. Okay, so that sums it up. We hope this was helpful for you. If you guys have any questions, please let us know. We're happy to answer the best that we can and with the information that we have. We don't have any insider tips or insider information about what's going on. We have practically the same information as you guys all out there. So, as you have questions, we're happy to participate in that conversation. So good luck, and we hope that you have a great experience either way. Bye.